name's Andrea and welcome to my channel MH Books. Today I'm going to film a book haul. It's been less than 3 weeks since I last did one, and I think there's something like 28 books here. One's a library book, and I kind of need to put them away, and I won't let myself put them away obviously until I do this. So this will probably be broken up in two like the last one was. And they're sorted out in piles around me. The light is failing. It's only 6 o'clock in the evening, but it is raining hard here. We had some bad winds earlier this week, and now we're having flooding. Seemingly the ploughing championships were cancelled the other day, which is a big deal because there's quite 100,000 people or something go to that, or something ridiculous. So yeah, we're having weather for Ireland, but I have to get on with this. This will probably be cut into two again because there's way too many books and I like to talk too much, but I haven't prepped, so I don't know much about them. So will this make me shorter? Who knows? But first of all, this is the most important one. That's why it has to go first. This is a particular sadness and lemon cake. Learn where the light is. I'm sitting in a different position. I had to put an artificial light. I know it's awful, sorry. So the particular sadness of lemon cake. This is by I'm going to say by Jodie because she blurbed it at the front where the author's name should be, by Aimee Bender. It's a very special book because this is the first book I think I've ever won on a giveaway on BookTube. This was the book that I won when Chris from a bookish cauldron. I have to find. I'll put the name of the channel below me in text. He had 1,000 subscribers about 3 weeks, maybe 4 weeks ago, and he had a giveaway on his channel. I love his channel. He reads about 50% speculative fiction, 50% literary fiction. He was giving away, you know, he had a choice of some of his favorite books. I had absolutely every single one except for this one, and I really wanted this one too. So yeah, we have very similar tastes. We don't always agree, but we have very similar tastes. So I won my very first giveaway ever. So thanks a lot, Chris. Oh yeah, the book. What's the book about? It's magical realism. See, this is why when I usually have prepared, and you know, I can say what a book is off from the top of my head. Not very eloquently, but I normally have. So I'm just going to do blurbs this time. Give me a break. It's after work. It's been a busy week and I have a busy weekend ahead. So on the eve of her 9th birthday, Rose Edelstein bites into her mother's homemade lemon chocolate cake and discovered that she's a magical gift. She can taste her mother's emotions in the slice. Surprisingly low rating in Goodreads, this one, but I've seen it on a few people's channels, and you know what? I think magical realism is you know, a taste not everybody has. And I think I'm going to like it. I've yet to come across magical realism that I don't like. So, a little girl tastes emotions from food. Anybody subscribed who's watched a couple of videos know I do mention food quite a bit. So, that's for me. The other book I want to show that's very special, that had to go first in all these piles of books, is Stephen King's Cycle of the Werewolf. I was watching somebody's video about 4 weeks. She was a relatively new booktuber, and I've forgotten her name. If I can find it, I'll put her down there, because she had located a copy of this in a car boot sale, I think, which is a car boot sales. They have them in Ireland and the UK. They're people who it's like a yard sale in the States, but it's not in your yard. You go and put all your stuff in the boot of your car, you drive to a field, you pay to put a stand out, and you sell old stuff that you have around. And I think that's where she got it from. And I tried to order it online, and the seller, without even responding to me, just cancelled the order and refunded the credit card without even communicating, which is a little bit but so for the very first time in about 9 years, I've joined the library specifically to get this book. and I didn't think they'd have it, and it's already been delivered. I didn't even have the library card. I said, I have a book. I haven't got my library card yet. So I got a library card today in the Central Library in Dublin and the Ilex Centre in Dublin 1. So we have Cycle of the Werewolf, which is a graphic novel, extremely rare by Stephen King, for those who are not Stephen King fans. It's extremely rare, very hard to get. The other librarian there was kind of, I didn't even know they had this in stock. And this was available off the shelf, mind, from, I think it's Ralph Mind's library. It's free. So I'm not to get library books. I have too many books. I buy too many books. But this is an exception because this costs a fortune to buy. So I'm going to read it earlier than I planned to. If there is a read along going on for the Stephen King group, so when this comes up again, I might try and get it from the library again. But it's definitely going to count towards my horror reads, because up until the 15th of November, I believe, the Horror Aficionados group on Goodreads is doing their horror read challenge. So this is going to add, it's a graphic novel for once I have a short book. And I read slowly, so that's okay. Okay, I'm watching the time, and it's been 6 minutes, and I've talked about 2 books, and I'm 26. Oops. Okay, we're just going to do the horror novels today with the dark crime novels, okay? So see, can I do this in the next, 7 minutes to bring this to a reasonable size? Okay, the upstairs room. Don't know what it's about. I do know what it's about, sort of. But Kate Murray-Browne bought brand new ones. This month I actually bought brand new. I actually have the oh my god, the amount of money I spent on new books. I usually buy them all from charity shops today. This has been a bad month for my credit card. So, it's an incredible read, clever, chilling. I couldn't put it down. And again, not altogether highly rated on Goodreads all the time. So I'm going to use the blurbs for these. So Ellen and Richard have stretched themselves to the limit to buy the perfect home. Your classic horror novel, by the way. But cracks are already starting to show. Eleanor is unnerved by the eerie atmosphere in the house and is convinced it is making her ill. Their 2 young daughters are restless and unsettled. Richard, on the other hand, is more preoccupied with Zoe, their alluring young lodger, who is struggling to feel at home. So we have, I believe from what I've read from a Goodreads friends reviews, it's like 20% horror, 80% a study of the relationship of the couple. Okay, so it's more literary than, so it's for those who like horror, it's a little bit more literary, I believe. But again, in October I will be doing 1.5 October reads, and all the rest are going to be dark, gothic novels. Not necessarily horror, but dark and gothic. So I think this might be one of them. I haven't decided my TBR. Okay, Misery. Doing the Stephen King's read along from the start, so I managed to get this second hand. Misery is about, I've read it lots, or twice. It's about, I mean, the Kathy Bates movie is great. An author breaks down, I think it's in the snow or something, and yeah, one of his biggest fans saves him. Authors don't want to meet their biggest fans, not in Stephen King's world, so okay. I got this one, The Regulators. The Regulators is Richard Bachman, which is the Stephen King pseudonym, was released at the same time as the other one that has that picture, because they're mirror images of each other, the 2 novels. Can I apply for me? Because it's Richard Bachman, they're not going to put the Stephen King novels in the front, are they? God damn it. Oh, they do. Whew. Desperation. So it's mirror image of Desperation. I have the exact novel in Desperation. I was very pleased to get this copy. I'm not going to go into these stories. You should. I mean, Stephen King fans will know what they are, and the rest should know that he wrote 2 novels, one of his pseudonym, one of his real name, and they're mirror images of each other, which is a cool thing for anybody to do. The novels, they're good. Don't remember being that impressed at the time, but maybe I will this time. I am so delighted to have this one. So delighted. Absolutely, rude word, delighted. I have, let me see, where is it? I was going to read this book. This is the half a book for October, by the way. I was going to read this book for Victober. So it is A Struggle for Fame by Charlotte Riddell. It's quite a long, chunky, but it's a Irish Victorian author, okay, that's very little known. And what did I see in the horror section but Haunted Houses, which is 2 novellas by Charlotte Riddell about ghost stories, and so one of them's funny. So there's two novellas in this, and there's like 1 rating on Goodreads, so we're going to have to go for the blurb for this one and just assume she's going to be good. So it's An Uninhabited House. Charlotte Riddell presents a curious proposition. How does one let a property when the tenants cannot stand their otherworldly lodger? Horror meets humour as a host of solicitors clerks struggle to find the solution to the impending financial and perhaps mortal peril. I love the blurb for this. And then Fairy Water follows young lovers navigating their new position in society in effort frustrated by the interruptions of spectral house guests. I love spectral house guests. I work in work, did you know that? The office I work in is a Georgian building and it's haunted. Now I think that's amusing. I have to remember some people are actually legitimately afraid of it, but we really have to do a ghost tour of it sometime. But yeah, so I've only met the spectral visitor once or twice in passing. I would actually quite like to. So anyway, this is narrated by the couple's bombastic and disgruntled landlord. The economic obsessions and anxieties of late Victorian England are expertly and entertainingly laid bare. So this is brilliant. It fits so many boxes. It's a Victorian novel written by a woman, written by an Irish person. Very few ratings. It's a horror novel in October, so it's going to fit Victober and it's going to fit my desire. So this is so definitely being read. I was so delighted to find this. I'm sorry I'm rushing because I have so many books to go through, and oh well. Visitation. I just seen this. I'm gonna pick this up. It fell open. It was somebody's Christmas present. So it's for Ken with love. I think it's from Colette in Christmas 2016. So if you're watching, this is where your book went. It's Jenny Erpenbeck. I said I did like Go Went Gone. So again, this is Visitation, again about ghostly houses. I think it's an exquisitely crafted, stealthily chilling story of a house and its inhabitants, of a country and its ghosts. So we're gonna have a ghosty theme, I think, going on this October. I am so excited for it. These books here are crime novels. They have a very Irish slant. We're going to start off with, I picked this one up because I've never read his Charlie Parker thriller series, and it was quite cheap in the local bookshop. It's a horrible copy, that's why. It's brand new, but it's a horrible copy. So it's John Connolly's first Charlie Parker mystery. So Every Dead Thing. He does crime novels, police procedural with a supernatural twist. So people maybe who are a fan of one genre and want to try the other, maybe that's the idea. I haven't read them. Have read his book, the one, I'll put the name, the one with the boy. The one with the boy, and he walks into the world of the book, which is the world of fairy tales. The book of Lost Book or something like that, I can't remember. Wasn't too fond of that story actually, but I did like his writing style. So and I do like the idea of this with the dark twist. The next 2 books though, so I'm going to try him out, okay? If people have read him, tell me whether you like him. These ones I'm very excited to read. Okay, I made a bit of a boo-boo there. I kept calling Inishowen an island for some reason, even though I know it's it's a peninsula. It's actually the most northern part. It has Marilynn Head on it, which is the most northern area in Ireland. It's in Donegal. So it's actually part of the Republic of Ireland rather than Northern Ireland, even though it's the most northern point. Remember, we're in Ireland, we don't have to make sense, okay? So yeah, so I'll probably put a little picture or something of it, because it's a fabulous location, and the idea of setting your crime novel somewhere like this was intriguing to me. So that's why I just couldn't resist picking up these. So the first one is this one. So there's a skeleton discovered wrapped in a blanket in a hidden crypt of a deconsecrated church. Everyone is convinced the bones must be of Conor Devitt, a local man who went missing on his wedding day 6 years previously, but the post-mortem reveals otherwise. So the mystery is going to be solved by our beautiful, I presume beautiful, I haven't read the book yet, solicitor Benedicta Ben O'Keefe. So she's a woman. Benedicta is a woman's name. She's called Ben O'Keefe, and she'll be working with Sergeant Tom Loy, and I see she's doing the same in here. And again, she's let somebody down, swimming in this one. And in this case, it's a woman's body washed up in the remote beach of Inishowen Peninsula. It's partially clothed with a strange tattoo on her thigh. She's identified as Margaret OConnor. I don't have a good French accent. A French woman who's been living in the area. So I'm just intrigued the location of these books, and as I said before, I do like cold places. That is all I know. That's why I bought them. Okay, that, and they were in chapters, and one cost €3, the other one cost £5. It's incredibly good value. That was attractive picture of me, Maria. Okay, these two books are historical fiction rather than crime. I'm going to finish up with these ones, but they're lovely and dark. I'm starting that again because I forgot to actually mention one of them was Victorian and the name of the author, and it was just horrendous. So I put these two books together because they're both historical fiction, and they involve gruesome murders, and the kind of thing, it's going with this kind of dark, theme I have for this book haul, this part of the book haul. It's way more book haul. And they both involve gruesome murders. This one is Victorian, and it's set in Edinburgh. It's in 1847, yeah, and it's a city of medicine, money and murder. Without reading any further, I can tell you that's grave robbing, because you go to any ghost tour in Edinburgh, there's lots of grave robbing. It's gorgeous. I picked this up. I've seen this in the Gutter Bookshop, which is an independent bookshop. It's by, remember I said I forgot? I keep forgetting to say this. So the name of the book even, that's how bad I was. So The Way of All Flesh, definitely. I haven't read anything else. I know what this is. This has to be. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Okay, and it's by Ambrose Parry. So we have one gruesome murder book set in Victorian Edinburgh. So we're going to go back in time a bit, and we're going to go to Georgie in Dublin. We're going to look at The Dolocher by Caroline Barry this time. And Victorian London had Jack the Ripper. And Georgie in Dublin had The Dolocher. I presume it's pronounced The Dolocher. I've never actually heard of The Dolocher in any of our ghost tours, but then I wouldn't be a tourist, so I wouldn't be doing them. So if anybody's heard of one, yeah, and again, yeah, so gruesome, Georgian, gruesome, Victorian, Victober book. No, it wasn't even it wasn't Victober, it's a modern book. So I'm going to wrap this bit up for my darker side of my thing. I only have 1, 2, 3, 4 piles of books left to do for the book haul. See you soon.